this is a great resource. We just collect all kinds of paper ephemera. Primarily, we have photos, we have books, we have letters, we have postcards, we have maps. I could go on, but lots of things that people don't think are important, that they might not think are interesting. Sometimes you find a photo, you're cleaning out grandma's house. You find a photo, you don't even know who that is. Well, we might also not know who it is, but you know what? She's standing in front of a house that still exists here in town. And somebody might be doing some research on that house and want to know what it used to look like. So those kinds of things that might seem inconsequential. I mean, I have found grocery lists. Okay, grocery lists, not that exciting. What was it written on? The back of a receipt from a store that no longer exists.
Oh, cool.
So there's just little tiny things like that, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And we're the kind of people that just want to look at it and make sure it might be treasure before you throw it out. So we have collections like that, but we do also have collections from the counties. We have Caroline County, all across here are record books from Caroline. And we actually have a court order that directs us to keep these kinds of documents. These, I believe it's historical and precious. I forget the exact wording on the order. But look at that. And so somebody's going to be researching some piece of land, and it is going to show up on these pages. And so this is all the clerks of the court would write all of these things out.
Isn't that amazing?
You'd have to have incredible handwriting, but look at the drawings. It's
so detailed.
Yeah, and of course the skill of reading, cursive, handwriting. Is a tricky one. People are losing that. But all of these records along here from Caroline County, and as you can see behind me, this is all Freelance Star bound volumes. We have more in another room, and of course many of these are available online, but you can see things in the original document that you can't see when it's been microfilmed. That's the library and the college both have microfilm versions of them, but so we've got lots of very old newspapers and documents here. This is our library, and so this is where we have books and handbooks, magazines, pamphlets, things like that. We have yearbooks from many, probably not all of the local high schools, Mary Washington College. We have phone books. People don't think a phone book as being all that interesting, but now people are worried about privacy and they don't really want to have all that out there. But you used to have your address and your phone number, and the name was the name on the account, so it wouldn't necessarily have all the information. The city directories will have things like the spouse's information and possibly children, if they're maybe adult children, they're students, that kind of thing, show up in city directories. And then it's a collection. It's what people give us. So we've got a lot of things about the Civil War. We've got a lot of things about historic Fredericksburg. But we might have a genealogy that somebody's published about families that have been here. So all of that's available in the library here. These workstations are here so that when visitors come in, they can do their own research. They can find file numbers and items, and then we have assistants who will help them, who will pull the items from the collection for them to review. All of these workstations are for our volunteers, because in order to find the information, you have to know where it is. You have to be able to find a keyword. What are you looking for? So when the collection comes in, we have people that go through it and pull out the names, enter that into our tracking system to be able to find it. Out of sight is out of mind, and unfound is unknown. Down this way, we have a tremendous number of records from Spotsylvania County. This, again, is from the court system. So we've got wills and decedents. We've got deeds, the deeds alphabetical, all of these things. Now, this is empty right now because Spotsylvania County is in the process of digitizing these records. So these are out being digitized, and when it's finished, we will have access, as well as Spotsylvania County, to all of this in a digital format. But just the collections come in through the years. The first number on the collection is always the year that it was donated, and sometimes it might just be an item or two, and sometimes it might be grandma's attic full of all those papers that she kept.
Oh, I look at this and just think, the history. I could
the
spend
rabbit
hours.
holes that you can fall down. You might never find your way out. These Ralph Happel papers. Ralph was a historian with the National Park Service, and he was a local man, and he had so many things. So we're really thrilled to have that. Bill Beck has given us collections. People give us things over time, so something might have come in one year and then more coming in some years later. But all kinds of things. Farmers and Merchants Bank, so businesses that are no longer in existence, we have records from them. And it's a great place to keep things too, that if you have a family member who is that keeper, collector person, and you don't want to have the stuff in your home.
Yeah.
You have it here. This way you can find it, you can access it, but so can everyone else. It just makes it available to the public. So here's a picture of Adams Bookstore, and this is Michael Thomas Harvey had this up on his page just the other day on Facebook. But there's the Adams Bookstore.
Just look, and all those pictures are so interesting. Just looking around.
Well, you've got a bicycle. You've got the ladies in their long dresses. You have an African American man here with an apron on, so he's a worker of some sort, and that's just, I think it's amazing. It just says Main Street, circa 1907. Okay, so sometimes we know more about things than others, and we do try and get people to help. When we have our newsletter, we usually put a mystery photo in there to help us figure this out. Sometimes we know, and sometimes we need more help. And so here you go. You've got negatives. So you've got lots of different ways to do it.
So who uses?
So I would say that the majority of people who are coming here for research are doing genealogical research. That's a really strong factor. But also land use, people researching their homes, the place they live, whether that's in town or in the counties, who owned it before, that sort of thing. Certainly people who are writing books, Fredericksburg, they're going to get more and more information here. But I think genealogists would probably be the largest segment, because you just never know where a name's going to show up.
Right. So if I wanted to do some research, what's the process I do to come here? So
our website, our website has search capabilities, and you can put in search words, you can limit search words, that sort of thing. And find descriptions of collection items. And if it's a description that piques your fancy, write it down. Come on in, bring it in we're open on Wednesday afternoons from 1 to 4, one Saturday a month, but also by appointment. So if that doesn't work because you're employed and have a job that keeps you out, we can set an appointment. And then we have research assistants who will pull the items that you're interested in, look at it for you. If you look at it and say, oh, sorry, no, it wasn't what I thought, fine, we'll put it back. If you want copies, we can make copies, we can make scans, that sort of thing. This is all these items here to my left are Caroline County. This is their historic and precious records. But marriage licenses, these things just, look at them, they go way back. Bonds, marriage licenses for 1845 to 1859.
Boy,
old.
If you've got family, though, this is just, you would just treasure this.
You would, absolutely, unless your family name is one of those that everybody has. It can get really challenging if you have one of those common names. But we've got all of these records from Caroline County. We'll help you pull them out. Again, reading that script, that cursive handwriting can be a challenge, but our research assistants are pretty good at it. We'll help you figure it out, get through it. Then off you go.
So are you looking for volunteers, for people that would want to donate to the cause here?
We look for donations of collections items, like I say, things that are in the attic, things that you don't want to have to take care of. You don't want to have the risk of having to handle. We look for donations of financial donations. We do pay rent and we do have expenses to keep these things in archival quality condition and stuff. We're looking for volunteers who want to come in and do some work. We have a group of volunteers now that come in on Thursdays. We're looking to expand those days, but they do all kinds of things, from putting papers in order, from reading through it for the keywords, for the names that might show up, and helping us to really preserve the records. So they're doing that. And then research assistants who do help people who are looking for something. Some people are better with a computer than others, and sometimes somebody might be doing research about their family and they just aren't comfortable on a keyboard. We'll help you. We'll get you through that.
Yeah. We get a lot of research questions through the website.
Yes.
And through the online catalog. You can do that directly. So that's another
right. And Roger checks all of those, so he's responding to people from all over the country. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the benefits, I guess. It's unfortunate benefit from COVID. People began to reach out online much more, and knowing they don't have to take a visit all the way to Fredericksburg to get this information. We can scan it, send it back to you, that sort of thing. So,
we are a 501(c) organization, so as Florence said, we do rely on donations and support from everywhere. Yeah.
And membership. We have our membership. It's all on our website. It's not very expensive. Member benefits include get the newsletter. Members can now use their phones to scan items if they're in the building.
Oh, okay.
Because you used to have to. Maybe it's been scanned. That's great, and you don't have to subject it to the light and that sort of stuff. But otherwise, it used to be a bigger process. But members now have the ability. A lot of people choose to. They want to have a record of it on their phone instead of the time and effort that it takes to go through email.
And they also are able to have free photocopies.
And photocopies don't cost.
Right.
Yeah. I was helping someone with this not too long ago, but look at that. I mean, every bit. And so it gives you, these things are great when you're doing genealogy, because it doesn't just tell you who got married, but it tells you their parents' names. So that's, so here you go. He's a bachelor, she's a widow. It's just all kinds of information that are going to show up in these records. But St. George's, having been such a central part of Fredericksburg's history,
to have that here.
It's really a blessing for us to be able to have that here. This is still more Caroline County records. This is one of my favorite records that we have way up here. But if you can read that on there, it's a register of colored persons living in Caroline County in 1866.
Wow, to have names and a register of that.
Exactly. And it's broken down, interestingly enough, by children living with a parent who are married, who are not married. I think that's what it is. I forget exactly, but it's so comprehensive.
Yeah.
And then these are our more recent collections. So we're still always collecting and always processing.